Hi there. This is Afro Perspectives. Emmerson Mnangagwa and his SONA speech, the State of the Nation address in Parliament. I have to admit that after listening to the speech, I could not recognize the country he was referring to. The numbers he came up with, where do they get those statistics? Which economy generated those numbers? Not the Zimbabwe that is engulfed in a currency crisis right now. In his speech, Emmerson Mnangagwa spoke of an inflation rate of 3.5%.
Government remains committed to backing the currency through setting aside 50% of royalties for building reserves. Foreign currency inflows from exports have increased from US 7 billion in 2023 to over 8 billion in 2024.
So there you have it. Emmerson Mnangagwa telling Zimbabwe and the whole world that Zimbabwe has been doing well all along. Its economy has been flourishing. Then the sad news is that which he has omitted to tell us. The ZiG was devalued by 44% this past Friday. The ZiG has lost half of its value because there was not enough foreign currency reserves to prop up its value. There is something wrong with the people who write those speeches for Emmerson Mnangagwa. There are two possibilities here. Either he is deliberately lying or he does not understand the message contained in the speeches he is reading himself. The economy having generated 8 billion US dollars since the start of this year, if those figures were true, then there would have been enough cash reserves in US dollars to prop up the currency. His own Minister of Finance, Mnangagwa, has told us there is a facility of 365 million US dollars to prop up the ZiG. Yet, on the other hand, the economy is generating such massive amounts in foreign currency, 8 billion US dollars. So where is all the money disappearing to? However, not everything is bad news. Emmerson Mnangagwa spoke of his government setting aside 50% of royalties earned from the mining sector in building up reserves to prop up the currency. That is something to be applauded, but then the government has been receiving royalties from the mining sector for the past donkey years. Where has all that money been going? It's all very well making those promises, but there are questions on how the government is going to live up to its promises. In the past, we have seen wealth from the mining sector, 15 billion from the Chiadzwa diamonds, disappear into the pockets of well-connected individuals. What is different this time? Emmerson Mnangagwa spoke of the economy generating jobs, but no figures were given. Yet, just this past week, I've counted supermarkets shutting down because of the failing currency. Just to put this into perspective, Power Cells that closed each branch in Masingo in the past few days. Then there is Food World in Eastgate in Harare. If the Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime were serious on promises to create jobs, his regime would start with creating policies favoring a stronger currency, and we would not have businesses and supermarkets closing down. People will not be losing their jobs through the reckless policies his regime is pursuing. I have to admit that Emmerson Mnangagwa's initiative on feeding kids in primary school is a move in the right direction. That is something worth smiling about. However, it is estimated that 2.3 million school kids are not attending school because, one, they cannot afford the fees charged, and the second one is that even if some of them could afford to do so, there are no schools to go to. I was waiting to hear Emmerson Mnangagwa talking about building extra school classrooms for the school kids and introducing free education for primary school kids. I was waiting to hear about extra hospitals being constructed, but none of that. I could not actually get anything from the speech. And then there is the issue of the Chinese and the damage they are causing to the environment through unregulated mining. That on the screen on there is a clip of the Boterekwa Pass, 33 kilometers outside of Gweru, and that was an uncontrolled blasting in a mining operation by the Chinese. Is anyone aware that this is what the Chinese are doing to the environment? The Chinese can inflict such damage to the environment, and at some point they will just go back to China. What about the Zimbabweans, the locals? What about what is the government actually doing about this? Sadly, none of these are priorities for Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime. They are busy talking of Vision 2030. What we need are solutions to address issues affecting ordinary Zimbabweans in the here and now. I thought I should mention the numbers relating to Emmerson Mnangagwa's security detail. I watched the clip showing his arrival at the parliament buildings. I counted 12 vehicles plus an ambulance in his motorcade, which included about 5 motorcycle outriders. There were security guards in plain clothes, about 9 of them, soldiers from the Presidential Guard Battalion in their distinctive yellow berets, and they were armed with AK-47 submachine guns. Why would Emmerson Mnangagwa need such a heavy security detail? The pomp and ceremony aside, what is he afraid of? He tells us he won the elections in both 2018 and 23. He is a leader elected by his own people. He is the people's choice, if we are to believe what he says himself. Never mind the opposition challenging those results in both 2018 and 23. Why would he need such a massive entourage of bodyguards to protect him from whom? The very people who put him into power. Even when he got inside the parliament building itself, he still had this massive entourage of 10 security guards around him. Does Emmerson Mnangagwa need protecting from his own MPs, ZANU-PF MPs? The Triple C MPs, we are told they walked out of the SONA address, they boycotted it. That's just ridiculous if Emmerson Mnangagwa is telling us that he needs protecting inside of parliament building from his own MPs. Then there is Chiwenga. He came in his own equally impressive convoy of cars. I counted the bodyguards, and there were 16 of them. We have a president and then his deputy. And what we have is the two of them trying to outdo each other with ridiculous levels of protection. We have a deputy president, and his security detail is actually bigger than that of his boss. So who is in charge here? Who calls the shots here? Well, thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next installment. Tatenda siyabonga. Bye.